Airports of Thailand or AOT has played a crucial role as the first point of contact for millions of travelers arriving in Thailand, shaping their initial experience of the country. Our guest today has played a key role in transforming Thai airports with innovation, enhancing security, and exceptional management, positioning AOT to compete globally and provide a world-class experience for all.
Hello, สวัสดีครับ
Thank you for joining our show. Ladies and gentlemen, my beloved audience, this is the person I mentioned, the president of AOT, Kun Kerati Kijmanawat.
Hi, I'm Kerati. I'm the president of AOT, and we are now in Suvarnabhumi Airport, one of the busiest airports in Southeast Asia. So we as AOT, we try to put in as many new technologies as possible to give passenger comfort and also the speedy of service.
Could you please give us a mini tour to see all the advancement that enhancing this airport? Okay?
Right. What we see here is the people coming in to use the self-check-in facility. So now, when people come to the airport, they have a choice of to waiting for the airline to open their counter 3 hours in advance and then queue up for the normal way of checked-in. But they also have a choice to use these kiosks.
Okay.
These kiosks operated 24 hours, 24/7, so they can just come in at any time, checked in, and also drop their bags.
So the kiosks cover all the airlines,
Right.
every flight?
Right now, we try to negotiate with all the airlines to put that system into our kiosks.
Okay.
But in principle, we want all airlines to be able to check in from our kiosk.
Okay.
And right now we cover about 70% of all the flights in Suvarnabhumi.
And getting more and more.
And getting more and more. I think it's not the first time we're doing this. Singapore have done it, Changi has done it, Japan has done it. So I think the airline will gradually accept and make it all possible for all airlines to using these kiosks.
Okay, so we still have some area to put on all those kiosks.
Right.
There will be more.
Yeah.
And more in the future.
Yeah, and the passenger when they come in, once they already bought that ticket, they can just tap into the system, and it go directly to the airline checked-in website.
Okay.
And the passenger can check themselves in and also print the bag tag. And after they have this bag tag, they can go to the bag drop.
Okay.
And this bag drop, they are doing it by themselves also to drop the bag.
Okay.
And this process usually takes no longer than 5 minutes. And so any passenger who comes in earlier or any time of day that they don't want to queue, they can use this system.
Good. Been there, done that myself.
Apart from the self-check-in and self-bag drop, also we convinced the airline to open their counter 24 hours for big airlines like Thai Airways and Vietjet and other airlines. So when passengers come in, they can check in at any time using their conventional system as well. So customer will have a choice. Our goal is to enhance comfort and choice for the customer. And also these days, we are now implementing what we call the face recognition system. And this face recognition system, so instead of the passenger need to queue and check their identity and check their travel documents, they can just go through this gate.
Yeah.
And for this gate, the gate will automatically detect their face. And once their face is detected, it shows green and you just go in.
Future and your vision to develop more about this Suvarnabhumi Airport. Okay, we have seen all the advancement, all the innovations, the biometric technology, the face scan, the kiosk, and everything.
Right.
So what else that we need to add up, to put more on this airport to bring it to compete in the global stage?
In the long run, we need space. We need more space in terms of the terminal area. We need more space for people to relax. We need more space for people maybe work before they go on the flight. So right now, what we focus on is how to improve the customer experience. What do they want in terms of when they come to the airport? They want, airport that is spacious and clean, of course, and it also has all the sufficient amenities and equipment to take care of their needs. So for Suvarnabhumi Airport, we take care of about 60 million people this year, and in 2025 we expect to have about 65 million people coming through Suvarnabhumi Airport.
Okay.
So if you look at the space alone, we only have 400,000 square meter, which is a lot less compared to other big airports in the world. So if our goal is to become maybe one of the top 10 best airport in the world,
okay,
what we have to do is we have to radically put in more passenger space. And we can do that by adding in maybe new additional terminal. And we have done it already.
Okay.
I think for some of the travelers who come to Suvarnabhumi Airport, you might already have experienced what we call Satellite 1.
Oh, the new building.
Yes, the new building.
The massive one.
Yeah, the massive one.
Yeah.
That Satellite 1 has increased the space for the passenger waiting area of about 300,000 square meter. And it's not just about space. It's also how we tell the story to the passenger. So we use the what we call the Thai hospitality, put in the Satellite 1, and we put in the theme of Himapan forest.
Oh.
So when you come to Satellite 1, you're greeting with two of the big elephants in Satellite 1, and these showing the symbol of animals in Thailand. And then when you walk through the area of Satellite 1, you will also be greeted with Himapan creatures like Kinari, Kinnon, and also we built in some of the green area into Satellite 1.
Okay.
And I think this has received by many of our travelers that it not only show new improvement to the airport, but it also show Thai hospitality and Thai culture.
Okay, so we have given them time.
Right.
Now we are trying to give them more space.
Yes.
And atmosphere and experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We also plan to build one brand new terminal that is as big as what we currently have in the main terminals.
Okay.
At the space on what we call the South Terminal area.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you look at what we have in Suvarnabhumi, right now this is the main terminal building.
Okay.
And we have this Satellite 1 that we expanded.
Okay.
But we also have a vast amount of land in the south connecting to Bang Natrat Road. So when we invest, and this is going to be a very big investment for Suvarnabhumi Airport, we plan to invest about 140 billion baht.
Wow.
In terms of investment.
Okay.
And that will include, brand new terminal with 70 million passenger per year capacity, and it should have about 1 million square meter of passenger area.
Wow.
Yes. So that will put us on the map. That will definitely improve the customer experience and customer service.
Okay. So the Terminal 3, the new one, will be over there.
Yes.
So it will be connected by
underground train.
Underground train.
Yes.
Okay.
As you experience already in the Satellite 1,
Yes.
now is already an underground train in place.
Yeah.
That underground train will be expanded to the South Terminal as well.
Okay.
So all three terminals will be connected, and people who travel will have more space, will have more area, and then we can talk about maybe nap zone, maybe game zone, even kids playground.
Wow.
So that it's what you expect in a good airport these days. When you go to Incheon, when you go to Abu Dhabi, when you go to Dubai, they have this facility for the travelers. So if we want the people to choose Thailand not only as their destination of travel, but as their destination for transit and transfer, we need to have a transit transfer facility. And as these expansions do take time, 3 years, 5 years in the future. So how do we cope with our existing customers? That's why we talked about the short-term process improvement, like what we shown you on, as we have the self check-in, self backdrop. Immigration used to be one of the major bottleneck for any airports. People, when they think about entering the country, it takes about 1 hour, hour and a half. But as Thais, we are famous the world over for hospitality. We don't want them to wait in line. We don't want them to feel that, okay, this is hard to get into the country. So that's why we, as AOT, we invest for the immigration police in terms of this technology. So we did this investment and put in 120 new immigration gates. We don't pay the police. We invest. We purchase the gates and installing the system for them.
Okay.
We think cooperation is the best way. We can't just wait for them to implement. So we said, what we can do, if we choose to invest ourselves and they sanction the program and cooperate with us, it will be better for both organizations and eventually, of course, better for the country. Before COVID, it used to be very congested, and we handle about 63 million.
63, okay.
Yes, so it's about almost on par with what we used to have before COVID. But now we have much more facility compared to before COVID. Of course, we have Satellite 1, and also for the runway, you might sometimes hear the captain said, we are now going around Suvarnabhumi Airport because we're waiting for the landing slot for the runway. These will also be old memories because now we will have 3 runways, and instead of about 64 flights per hour, we increase those capacity to 94 flights per hour. So it's increased the capacity to about 40%. So therefore, we don't expect any more problem with the delay for the takeoff and landing for aircrafts.
So we don't have, as passenger, we don't have to wait in a plane for too long.
Yeah.
No more.
No more.
Okay.
No more.
94 flights in an hour.
Yes.
Wow. Compared to the other airports all around the world.
If we look at the passenger handling capacity, Singapore last year they handled about 70 million passengers. So it's about the same number. We only are behind them about 10 million passengers per year. But remember, these numbers for Thailand versus Singapore, our 60 million. From these 60 million, about 95% of that is the people who want to come to Thailand as their destination. But for Singapore and many other transit transfer countries, from that number 70 million, about 60% is destination. The rest of the 40% is transit transfer. So in terms of the breakdown of the passenger, we still have a lot more volume to go if we can attract transit transfer passenger. Thailand people love, in terms of their destination, they all want to come to Pattaya, they all want to come to Chiang Mai, they all want to come to Phuket. So we do have the 60 million in our pocket. So how do we capitalize on that and bring in more flights, bring in more airlines, and make Thailand their destination?
Are we going to beat the record this year?
We think that from all of these slots that already been registered and already been allowance, now we expect that next year we can increase the number of passengers at about 20% compared to last year. So we're hoping to get almost up to more than 65%.
So that's the new record.
Yes.
By this year, 2025.
It should break the record in 2025.
For the Terminal 3, it will take around 3 to 5 years.
This government, they push very hard toward improvement of our infrastructure. They have stressed aviation hub as a theme, and we take that at heart because we think it's the right policy. We think that this investment will also in turn come back to improve the number of tourists coming to Thailand. And tourists now, as we all see, is the most important economic development agenda of Thailand government. So we believe that our investment will in turn improve the economy of the country as well.
Speaking of aviation hub in Southeast Asia, so are we there yet, or any significance that we are going to be the next hub?
We already on par with Singapore, Incheon, Narita, as well as Beijing, for example. So I think we're in the top 5 in terms of number of passengers.
That's in Asia.
As in Asia.
As in Asia.
And even in the world, we are not behind the top 20 of the world.
We're not far behind.
Yeah. So the passenger we already have, how to make those passengers happy, and how to make them choose Suvarnabhumi over other airports. So it's the airline and it's also the passenger.
Let's talk about pandemic first. We have been through a lot of hard time, as we already know.
Right.
So what did we learn from the COVID-19?
Well, from the pandemic time, for one thing, it's something that the world didn't expect. It spread all over the world, and aviation stopped. Even land transport has stopped for a period of time. Learning from that, we have to be more resilient. I think now the world has many lessons on how do we handle pandemic, and how do we not letting fear overcome our judgment. I think aviation is one of the most hardest hit from the global pandemic. So now we already have many of the regulations in place on how to deal with the global pandemic if it's ever occurred again. The airline already have their sanitary rules. How do they handle the passenger if any of the pandemics has been announced? And we as the airport also, we do have the facility as well as we do have the set of practice on how to handle this situation. And I think I'm proud to say that even in the pandemic time, many people choose Thailand as their refuge. Many people comes to Thailand, as a place where they can stay during COVID time. So even in the worst of time, Thailand is still one in top 10 in their mind in terms of a safe and secure country. We as AOT, we are part of the International Aviation Association, as well as part of the global initiatives on mega airports.
Okay.
Our goal is how we perform compared to the major airports in the world. So we have a benchmark group, together with Incheon and also Heathrow Airport, Charles de Gaulle Airport.
That's the benchmark.
Yes, the benchmark.
Okay.
Many of the major hubs in the world that everybody thinks this is the one. We share the information, how we treat the passenger, how long in each of the process each airport take,
Okay.
and how do we improve together.
Okay.
So we believe that in the next coming years, we use those data to improve our service and improve our state of the safety and security that we provide to the customer.
Okay.
I think a big example is before, when you come to Suvarnabhumi Airport and travel, you have to take off your shoe, right?
Okay,
Remember, last year, you have to do that.
For security checking.
Yes, for the security checks. And,
Okay.
we have discussed with this association in many airports. Many airports do, many airports don't. How do you ensure the safety and security of transport at the same time give convenience to the customer?
Okay.
And we use those rules and regulations to improve our own.
Oh.
So on this day, you don't have to take off your shoes, and you don't have to take out the power bank, because now we have a better system in place so that it can detect the anomalies in the customers, so that we can provide them a more convenient service while we retain the same level of safety and security.
Okay, so basically there's such a conference or symposium organized every year.
Yes.
And all the members, we share the insights.
We share the insights, we share what we use as technology. And on the next phase of development, we are now replacing all of the scanner machine that is using, so that in the future, you don't have to take out your laptop, you don't have to take out water, you don't have to take out medication or cosmetic. It can live in,
Please. Yes.
you can leave it all in, and you can even bring it with you in the plane.
Okay.
So with better technology, with better system, we can improve the customer service.
Within the conference that you attended, did they discuss about the terrorism?
Of course. It's one of the major issues.
Yeah.
And how do we tackle these threats, and remain safe while we still give the comfort of travel to the customer.
Yeah.
So technology improvement is very important. We have changed now from the normal metal detector now to the body scan, and in the next phase we are also implementing the brand new body scan equipment that can scan you top to toe without you have to take off the jacket or anything like that. You can just stand and the system do itself, and it will be faster also. And our goal is to use those fees, improve the service.
Okay.
Bring the fees and give it back to the customer.
So
Yeah.
right now, are we competing
We are competing. I mean, many people, when they come to the airport, of course, they have many worries and many of the issues that they have. But please be fair. Look at what you get around the world as well. Of course, there are the top ones like Singapore or Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Those are the top ones. Of course, we accept that they are better than us in terms of both the space and the quality of service. But I think we're still on par with the 20, the 30th airport in the world. And we are not content with that. We want to be better. Okay. And of course, we have to put in, as I said, technologies, more efficiency, and more space.
One more big subject that is inevitable is the carbon emission.
Right.
Yeah. So how do we do to handle?
Yeah. As the airport, we also in the
subject.
global stage, and if we don't careful about this issue, in one of the day there will be a time where airline refuse to fly to an airport because they are not carbon efficient.
Okay.
Or they are not following any of the world protocol on carbon emission.
So what's your plan?
Our plan is that in the next 5 years, we want all of the 6 airports under AOT to be free of grid energy. That we will no longer buy electricity from the grid. We will produce the energy by ourselves. Where, if you look at the airports, we do have a lot of empty space. That cannot build anything because it's beside the runway or it's on the head or on the end of the runway. This space can be put solar panel. Yes, okay. Yes. We already put the solar panel on top of all the terminal in Suvarnabhumi already, and we want to expand that to all the area that we have that need to be flatland and create solar energy. So by the next 5 years, what we plan is to create enough daytime energy to use in the terminal. We already implemented 20 megawatts of solar energy in Suvarnabhumi, and we want to expand that to 80 megawatt, which is the total energy use of Suvarnabhumi Airport.
A day. 80 megawatts.
80 megawatts. We also create a mandate for all of the service affiliated with Suvarnabhumi. For example, taxis, limousine, as well as ground services, that they have to change their emission from diesel engine to electric power vehicle. Okay. And we want to get there not only by spending money, but by saving money, because solar power is cheaper than buying from the grid. Solar power, we have already proven that the new panel is saved the energy cost by 25%, including all investment.
So we could aim, or we could say that within 5 years, Suvarnabhumi International Airport is going to be one of the top or the greenest airport in the world.
Yes, and we don't want to only talk the talk, but we also do what we talk. Okay. That's very important. We also now working with the airline and with the petroleum company to produce what we call sustainable aviation fuel. Because it is the regulation in the EU now that by 2025, all of the plane outgoing from EU will have to get their jet fuel with 4% sustainable aviation fuel, or what we call SAF, 4% blend.
Okay.
These aviation
new fuel blend in
to the old jet fuel.
Jet fuel. Okay.
This fuel coming from maybe used cooking oil or agricultural waste, and they produce jet fuel, which is 100% recyclable and made from the agricultural product, not petroleum, and mix that with the jet fuel. So we are now using the land that we have to produce the tank farm for this aviation jet fuel, and we want to also invest with petroleum company to get this fuel blend into the jet fuel that provide in Suvarnabhumi Airport and also provide it to the world.
So what about weaknesses? What do we need to fix it? Or correct it as soon as possible?
I think what we need to fix as soon as possible is, of course, when we have a lot of people, now the airport is become crowded.
The congestion.
The congestion is very important. How do we, because congestion brings what? We bring waste, brings the use of toilet, the noise, everything. So how do we clear people out of the airport as soon as possible so that we can take care of the new batch that's coming in? So improve the efficiency of the process and also keep the cleanliness of the airport.
Okay.
Many of the people when they come in, of course, we want them to have 100% good experience with all facilities, but there are drawbacks. The cleaners, there are good ones and there are bad ones. So I think my obstacle is how do we instill the mind of customer service and diligence to all of the people inside the aviation industry. So it's a challenge, but we will get
pretty
there.
difficult because you have to communicate
Yes.
and change all the perception, all
Yes.
the mindset of everyone involved.
Right. And motivation is one thing.
Okay.
How do we check and balance? We even now think about maybe putting in technology to help us remind them. For example, we are putting in the sensor in the toilets to sniff out ammonia.
Okay.
If it gets smelly,
Okay.
we get a warning.
Okay.
And the cleaner will have to come and clean it.
Okay.
Because we can't just keep motivating them and expect the same result. So technology is involved, of course. How do we use the technology to best improve the service?
Okay, so solution comes with tools or technology. Okay. What's your next goal that you would like to reach or improve the most?
My immediate goal is to make the full use of all the technology that we paid for and get it as efficient as possible. And then my next big goal is, of course, airport development. In 4 major airports in Thailand, Suvarnabhumi, Don Mueang, Phuket, and Chiang Mai, we're putting in new terminal and new space area for the passenger. And we want all of those construction to start. That's very key.
Okay, I wish you succeed those goals.
Thank you.
And then we have come to our last question. It's a question of our show. The biggest serious issue that we cannot deny, but to talk about it right now, what would it be?
I think the serious issue for Suvarnabhumi that we have to talk about is the people who are using Suvarnabhumi with us. The important key that I want to change but still having difficulty to change is that Suvarnabhumi is not only AOT. It consists of many of the tour operator, taxis, and many other services. And when people come in, we want everything to be efficient. We want everything to be reasonable. We want all the prices to be reasonable. Okay. So my goal and my key issue that tackling right now is to take care of all the these tours and taxis and things that people are afraid of when they come to Thailand.
I see your point.
It should be as
stop those taking advantages from the tourists.
That's the key. I don't have direct control, but I do have negotiation power to talk to them and see that if you don't improve, I will open a choice for my customer. Now I already accept Grab. Okay. We don't charge them a thing because we want the customer to have a choice. They no longer have to suffer anything. If they don't want to, choose another option.
Thank you so much.
That's, I think, is the best for the customer. Before in Phuket, people has to, get the ride sharing pay a lot, get out of the taxis in front of the gates and then drag their bags inside. Okay. So that's not the way we run the airport.
Okay.
It should be clean, efficient, and safe. Okay. And it should start from our airport and then expand to the whole country.
Okay, thank you so much for joining our show today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have learned so much from you, and we might visit here sometime soon to see all the improvement.
Thank you.
But today we have seen all the advancement, all the technology, and it's very interesting.
Sure.
Okay. I hope you enjoy our EP today with a time to talk. And let's guess who is going to be our next guest who's sitting next to me. Don't forget, if you come to Suvarnabhumi or any airport in Thailand, you don't have to spare too much time. You can come and check in by yourself and give yourself a pleasure time and enjoy every moment at the airport. Thank you so much. Until next time, people.